but there's no Yibum and there's no Chalitza because Kedushin is not Token. Okay, fine. So we now have, what do we have? We have a Machloket. We have our Mishnah that says that Yehuda's halacha that he's only chayav for relations with his mother but not his father's wife is in a case where it's an inappropriate marriage, and the Tanakama says no, regardless, even if it's his mother who's the lawfully wedded wife of his father, he's only chayav for the relationship with his mother according to Rabbi Yehuda. That's what our Mishnah said. The answer is Yitzhak Tani Kedisnan Rabbi Yehuda Tani Kedisnan. That when Rabbi Yitzhak came, he brought his teaching like he learned in the Mishnah, which is what Rabbi Yehuda Amar says in a chayav only shuma ein bavad, that he's only chayav for relations with his mother, but not for relations with his father's wife. Okay, so we now resolve for Rabbi Yitzhak that we go with our Mishnah, not with the Brisa. So now the rest of the Gemara is going to try and figure out what is the reason that Rabbi Yehuda says that he's only chayav for his mother, but not for his father's wife. The time of my, what's that reason? Amar Abai says, Amar Shra, the pasuk says, Imcha Mishum Imo Atamachayv Mishum Eshesav. Okay, so he says as follows: that the pasuk there's two psukim written by a father and his wife, which is as follows. The pasuk in Mayikra pasuk Zion says, "Ervat Avicha," the heir of your father, the Ervat Simcha, and the heir of your mother, Lo Tegala, you should not uncover. Imcha he is your mother. Focus on those words. Lo Tegala Ervat Shah, do not reveal her erva. So this is the pasuk that's written by someone. This is his mother. The next pasuk says, "Ervat Eshes Avicha Lo Tegala," that the erva of the wife of your father you should not uncover. Ervat Avicha, who is the erva of your father, right? So there, it's talking about someone who was married to the father. It's not discussing whether it's his mother. Okay, so we say so he says the issue is as follows: that when it says so it says you should not uncover your mother. Imcha she is your mother. That is an exclusion to say that when someone has relations with his mother, imcha he is over the Isser of his mother, but not the Isser of the wife of his father. So the Gemara said, well, that's the drasha, Elameata, Ervateshes Avicha, Lo Tegala, Ervat Avicha, who the next pasuk test, which I read, says that the erva of the wife of your father you should not uncover. It is the erva of your father. So when it says it is the erva of your father, so that seems to be saying that that he's only chayav for the wife of his father, but not for the relationship with his mother. So if you're saying imcha he tells you only for the mother, then why not say erva sabicha, who that tells you only the wife of the father? So in other words, you have conflicting things. Ela imo shehi eshes aviv koy hacha v'mayit loy v'koy hacha v'mayit loy. So he says, but here's the problem. So you're going to end up with a drasha as follows. That one drasha tells you you're only chayav for your mother, but not for your father's wife. And the other one says you're only chayav for your father's wife, but not for your mother. So we can say, okay, those are each saying one case. One is talking where he was married, and one was talking where he wasn't married. Right? So one was wedlock, one was legitimately married. So you're covering both cases. But the problem is, if you have these conflicting limudim, what happens in the case where it is his mother and it's the wife of his father? So we're going to end up with a case. Hashra imo she'eno eshes aviv. I'm sorry. So he says. If it's his mother who's not, meaning he was born out of wedlock, and it's not the wife of his father, Machayah, Yishayah. Ashes of it, She'eno Imo, or it's the wife of his father who's not his mother, also Machayah. But Imo, in the case of his mother, Ashes of it, that's also married to his father, Lo Machayah Klal, and he wouldn't be Machayah at all. So that's a bizarre result. So if you have one pasuk that tells you when it's only mother but not wife of father, and only wife of father but not mother, each of those cases is chayav. But a case where it says mother and the wife, you're not chayav, so that can't be. So it must be that imchahi and eretz avichahu are not the reason to do it. And there's a second question: it's true in the Rabbanim nami haktiv imchahi. Moreover, if you're learning it from imcha, that kind of drasha, what are the Rabbanim who argue in Yehuda? Why wouldn't they use it? Ella, Hahumi violated for the Shisha Breder of Bibi, Yehuda Nam Yahu violated for the Shisha Breder of Bibi. So tomorrow, Hashem will see what the halacha is of the Shisha Breder of Bibi. It talks about whether how you know an onesh for someone who has a relationship with his mother. But in any event, So we're going to say, what would the Rabbanan do with Imcha? They must need it for that limud. But you wouldn't need it for that limud also. So we have a double question on Abaya's answer about how we know it. So we're going to say, no, it's not that. Elo Amar Vacha Pedro Ika Amar Cross Ervasa Mishum Erva Achas Atamachayim V'Yitam V'Yatamachayim Mishum Stay Erva. So it says as follows, that the prophet says by his mother, Ervas Avicha, the Ervas Imcha Lo Tegala, you shouldn't uncover the Erva of your mother. Imcha, he is your mother. Lo Tegala Ervasa, you should not uncover her Erva. So what does this tell you? This tells you that when the prophet comes to tell you that you should be chayav having a relation with your mother, Ervasa, her Erva singular, tells you that you can only be chayav for one Isser, and therefore you're chayav on the Isser of mother, but not wife of father, because only one Erva is allowed. So the Gemara says, Elameata, if that's true, Erva sa in singular tells you can only be chayav for one Erva, I have a problem with our Mishnah. Because Erva talasa lo tegala, Eshes bincha hi lo tegala Erva sa. The pasuk by daughter-in-law says you should not uncover the Erva of your daughter-in-law. She's the wife of your son. You should not cover Erva sa, her Erva, in the singular. So according to the English, you should say that she can only be chayav for one Erva, not two. Right? But what's the problem with that? Well, now we learned in our Mishnah, someone who comes on his daughter-in-law, he's chayav for his daughter-in-law, and for the wife of his son. So what do you see? You see that a man who comes on his daughter-in-law is chayav two ervas, even though it says erva the singular. So it must be that this limud is not good. But look, Rabbi Yehuda, you didn't see Rabbi Yehuda come and argue there and say, no, he's only chayav for his daughter-in-law, but not Eish because it's written erva. Ella, how would you explain the word erva in the case of daughter-in-law? You go to Chad Gufa, who I forgot the trade surah ninu sim erva. The reason it wrote erva singular is because we're talking about one person. We might be talking about two surahs, but we say at the end of the day, erva it is her erva. Meaning because it's only one person. So Hakanami, therefore here too, you can't learn from Erva Sa, because we're going to say that the reason it's written Erva Sa, even the Katupo, I forgot to say sure, you know, Erva Sa, because you're going to say the reason it's written is because it's written Erva Sa is just because it's a singular person with two surahs. So I think we're going to stop here because the next part is a little more complicated. I tried starting 5 minutes early today. We had our technical difficulty, so I'll send around the WhatsApp. We'll probably start a few minutes early tomorrow because we'll take a couple minutes to explain, and then I'll let you know what time we're starting tomorrow.
I don't think he raced it. I don't think he went to Tijuana. This episode is like, that's not true. If he didn't report from Tijuana, he was going to Rock.
All right, we'll say good morning. Let us begin by thanking all of our sponsors for this morning's share today. Our Talmud Torah sponsor for Tav Shin Hey, our annual Talmud Torah sponsor for Tosin Shnach of Eretz Yisrael for dedicating all the Shum and Shoshos this year. As is Chus, from Sarah Sos for all of our Yisrael. Our morning sponsors for today are from Karen Gold, formerly of Baltimore, now of Lakewood, New Jersey, in memory of Baruch's father, Bruce Gold, who is formerly of Rabbi, in the merit of our Talmud Torah. Shalom have an aliyah, the family in the Chamush, is your family, to see the Odisi, all of our hostages. This Shabbos and meditation in the coming days, and our holy soldiers to be successful with all of Maaseh. Let us begin. Today's daf is 52.
What up, Paul? How you living?
On the days 51.
I accidentally joined the voice chat.
That's okay. Pulse, how did you find out about me?
So say something. You might
Honestly, I was going through my notepad and I had your Discord invite
Remember again, still steeped in the conversation.
Oh, okay. Was it from Discord maybe or Twitter?
Is Ella. So now
No way. Okay. If I may ask, was it recent that I sent you that or no?
Probably. Yeah, definitely. I have it saved from maybe 2 months back, maybe even only a month.
Okay, very well.
Sorry. I feel bad. I know I interrupted something.
No, you're good. Not at all. Do you mind if I tell you about myself?
Sure.
Excellent. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Rabbi Rothschild. I stream my life 24 hours a day. 7 days a week, 365 days a year for world peace. I've been doing so for more than 3.5 years. My streams go back to the pandemic. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and everything in between. Pulse, have you ever seen the movie The Truman Show or the television show Big Brother?
I actually haven't seen either of them, but I have done. I have quite a bit of knowledge on the Truman Show.
Okay, so you have a lot of knowledge on The Truman Show, but you've never seen it. Do I understand that correctly?
That's right. Yes.
Okay, very well. Well, that's essentially what I do. I have my entire life on camera. If you didn't know this, The Economist magazine stated in 2018 that data was Earth's number one resource. Data has overtaken petroleum as the number one resource on Earth. And I have more data archived on the internet than any person ever, which may make me an influential person someday. And if that happens, Pulse, I want to make you, your friends, your family, all independently wealthy if you're not already. I want to make sure that you have generational wealth. And most importantly, I want you to be able to start charities and philanthropic organizations of your own. How does that sound, Pulse?
That's pretty cool.
Excellent. I talk about other things to help the world, like ending world hunger through the use of technologies such as agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, hydroponics, vertical farming, cloud seeding. I want to help end world thirst. Excellent. I want to help end world thirst. I'm sponsored by a cryptocurrency that's worth about $100 million. That's what all my merch is. And one of the things that we do is we build wells in developing nations like Nigeria for the betterment of the less fortunate. I am an advocate for the Lifestraw program and most importantly desalination technology, where we pump earth seawater onto land to make it drinkable. How do those things sound to you, Pulse?
They sound well rehearsed and quite beneficial.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I mean, I've got 2,000 people in here, so I've told a lot of people about what I do. I talk about other things to help the world, or I think that the world will be interested in. Things like anti-gravity, antimatter, cryptocurrency, things like quantum computing, faster than light travel, faster than light communication, things like de-extinction. I don't know if you know what de-extinction is, Pulse, but essentially the first de-extinction took place in the year 2003 with the Pyrenean ibex, which is a goat located in northern Spain, southern France. Fast forward to the year 2021, a company in Dallas, Texas, known as Colossal Bioscientific, is founded. They've made it their goal that within the next 3 years, or by 2028, to reintroduce the woolly mammoth into the Arctic Circle, utilizing Asian elephant surrogates, which I just think is a mind-blowing goal. Additionally, after they reintroduce the woolly mammoth, they want to reintroduce the Tasmanian tiger, followed by the dodo bird. I just think these are really interesting things to be able to archive. And I talk about other things that specifically may affect you in the future, Pulse. Things like life extension technology. When you were born, Pulse, the average life expectancy for you or someone like you is probably about age 80. I'm going to increase that to age 100, 120 if you want, with your consent, using oxygen therapy, human growth hormone, stem cells, cryonics, cryogenics, things like nootropics, cold shock therapy, red light therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, ambrosia therapy. But eventually you may get to be 120 years old and you just say, Rabbi, it's been a really great run, but my body's starting to break down. What's the next plan? And again, this is all with your consent, but if you'd like, you may be able to take advantage of the final thing that I normally talk about, which is known as mind uploading technology, where we scan your brain into a computer, again, with your consent, like a CAT scan or an MRI, knowing where every atom is in your central nervous system and your peripheral nervous system, for later download as an android, an avatar, a cyborg, a cybernetic being, a clone of yourself, a robot, an ethereal being, whatever you want to be. But essentially what I'm saying to you, Pulse, is you may be able to take advantage of the future of a digital immortality. What are your thoughts?
Well, I can tell you this much. I already have eternal life through the promise of Messiah, my Lord. So I would not take the mind upload, but I certainly would. I would be okay with my life being not necessarily cut short by the shortening of my telomeres.
Excellent. Well, that's why I say to people that it's with your consent. I don't want to force anything on anybody, but that gives you a breakdown of what I do. And you should know I'm always here for you. If you ever need someone with whom to speak or you need support, I'm here to be a positive person in your life. I'm here to have an optimistic view on the future. And I'm here to just give people hope. So if there's anything you ever need from me, Pulse, I'm here for you, okay?
Yeah, that's really kind of you. I really do appreciate what you're doing. I do want to say it's hard for me to have anything much to say after your introduction, but I will say this much. I love you, brother, and once again, I appreciate your goals here. They all pretty much align with my goals in life. I, how do I say, I don't have anything more to say.
That's okay. I love you as well. Go on, take on the day. And if you ever need anything from me, I'm here for you, okay?
Okay, well, what are you up to right now?
I'm just watching a podcast.
Huh? And who's?
Well, actually, two at the same time. So I've got what's called Yafdelmi going. That's what you can see on this vertical screen. And then there's also a podcast that I'm watching that's basically a commentary on another podcast. So I'm kind of just listening to both of them at the same time. The one is called 10 Minutes of Shab, and then this one here is just the daily Dafyomi, which is basically daily study.
Okay, great. Do you mind if I just listen with you for now?
Absolutely. Knock yourself out. That's what I'm here for. If you need anything from me, feel free to interrupt. If not, I'm just going to continue living my life, okay?
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome, my friend. Just for a moment, I'm going to adjust this computer. There you go.
Honestly, I think I would risk my life to flip it. Like, I film it. I'm not sure anything I would. But I would, if I did, if I thought the people in my life would probably talk me out of actually being in the truck, but I pay or I figure out a way to death. I'm not, and I'll risk my life. I'd pay to flip it, and then I'd have me in it, and I'd do that content. That's what I mean. And it's like, boom, that's not what you're here for. You're here for 10 minutes of shop, and then you start the show. I just flew my trailer. Fuck, that's fucking. That's funny. I feel like he's wearing this shirt twice in 2 different episodes. It's like, Papa, you gotta work on your life, man. That's all I think. Well, I say beer daddy. Yeah, true. I mean, I've played this shirt so many times. Tidy. Drive fast. It's drive fast. Oh, gas up. That's what I love that. That's one of my favorite ones he has. We should get that. He doesn't know that it's upside down. He's like, it's different. I'm calm. Can't think he has enough for all the support. This is going better than I thought. Less than 2 weeks, man. Drive fast, all gas. I'm sick of coming on this freaking truck. The next one we do, which will probably be November. I think it's where the truck will be announced this week. Was it Thursday? We better have the goddamn name.
Again, once you just know that text gets sent out certain times at 5:22 this morning. What I'm doing at 5:22 this morning is preparing coffee. You know, we all go in, Baruch Hashem, and we take and we enjoy it, and it's wonderful. But understand that really is happy he's not here to see what shutting down is. But there's tremendous Mesiras Nefesh on his part when he does it. So make sure that when you see him, make sure when you see him that you give him a tremendous thank you, not just for the weather updates, but for the coffee each and every morning. But Ari, on behalf of the entire show, thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. We really, really appreciate it. The weather update aside, also just the coffee every single morning and the same Mesiras Nefesh, and thank you for it. Thank you for it. Folks, and Rachel, thank our commentary sponsors for the year of Tavshin Pei, our annual commentary sponsor, the Tulsa Mishpacha ROTHSCHILD, for dedicating all the children drugshows this year as a zechus from Sodas Provos for Am Yisrael. I've got two sponsors for today. Malkiot in honor of Josh's 40th birthday. Mazel tov. And I've got the sponsors today. Friends of Josh Rosenblum for his, the Friends of Rose special birthday. The wife wrote the actual birthday, right? So yeah, 40, the child. And Josh, I'm going to have the entire series. Wish you a tremendous birthday. Yet it should be a year. I'll continue to make this. And come Shabbos, you definitely told about that. That's you Shabbos. Not Beautiful. All right, so with that, let us be, of course, as always, we dedicate our learning in Tzusar Precious Hostages. We have the Shpal Commercial bringing home the Shalom and the Kara, and the Tzusar Holy Soldiers, they will be successful. The whole lot say then. So with that, let us begin. A lot to do today. An interesting dot filled with just a lot of, at times, random information, but really interesting ideas. Remember, again, we're still steeped. It feels like a little bit. I'm wondering, it's interesting, you know. On the other hand, I thought this yesterday, apparently down. It's very heavy, constantly being involved in death. Right, and just you get all of this. But as I mentioned before, I think when we started this sugi of skila, sometimes being around death is a powerful thing, because being constantly around death could be actually life affirming. And I know that sounds inherently contradictory, but sometimes when all you're doing is death, and you recognize that, oh Hashem, I'm alive, I'm here, it's a new day, it's only 5:57 in the morning. The whole day is ahead of me, and it's mine to decide what I want to do with it. You go result. So sometimes, again, spending a lot of time with that reminds us how much power we have in life. So with that, let us do it. So we left off yesterday. Good. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to be shooting that one. Okay, one person talk. Tell you where I am. Good. First, that's a guy. I just get to it, but maybe I'll be talking where you are. Oh, that's it. Good. Let's go. So good. You're not going to be followed. Not every shit. So what's the position of Rabbi Shimon?
Yes, sir.
So I just want to know, is the live stream of the other rabbi speaking, is that a live stream, or is that pre-recorded?
That's pre-recorded.
What's the challenge?
I'm just going to go and pull up this episode. Would you mind telling me what to search for? It's hard for me to hear him, and I really am trying to zone in what he's saying.
Yeah, what's it? Just a moment.
By Bas Kohen, what is happening over here is the Torah removes a Bas Kohen Nusua from the general penalty of Nusua, and a Bas Kohen Arusa from the general penalty of
Daf Yomi, DAF space YOMI, and then Sanhedrin, that's SANHEDRIN 51, and it's Rabbi Shmuel Silber, it's SHMUEL SILBER, BER, not VER. Hey, if I may ask, and I know you don't necessarily remember, do you know if I maybe sent you a direct message on Twitter, or perhaps reposted something that you had?
I could check.
Would you?
Let me buy this channel first, then I will. Then I'm going to check. Can you roll down again? I didn't get the full title.
Sure.
Sanhedrin 51, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what else was it after that? What's his name?
Rabbi Shmuel. It's SHMUEL.
Because since we see that Bas Kohen is pulled out from the normative framework of
space Silver, SILB, B is in boy, ER.
Indicates to us that Sreifa is a different
kind of. I got it. 7 months ago. Okay, perfect. That's great.
Just like when the Torah pulled out a Bas Kohen Nesua.
Okay, I will go ahead and get that lined up with North Slayer.
So then it holds up the rule of a bas kohen.
If you want, I can just turn it up.
From a regular arusa who is adultery.
No, I want you to be able to listen to the other podcast that you're playing against me.
Okay, I mean, you can just mute that one, mute the one I'm listening to, basically the one that has me, and then I can turn this one up for you if you want.
Okay, if you say so. I am actually having trouble figuring out how to use another person.
Sure. So the way that you do it is you click on my name in the, and then you should see mute.
Then it turns out,
it's deafened. I deafened myself to your stream. That's how it works.
No. So if you do that, that'll deafen you for everything. So you won't be able to hear anything.
Okay.
So
I suppose I am pretty major discourse.
that's okay. So do you see my the one that says Rabbi Rothschild, not the one with the 2 exclamation points? It's like period Rabbi Rothschild. Okay, so the one that says period Rabbi Rothschild, you click on it and you scroll down and you should. Are you on? What kind of device are you on? Okay. So then I'm just looking up this stuff.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay. There's a volume slider.
Yeah. So you move it all the way. You move that all the way down, and then I'll turn the other one up. And in the meantime, if you can find out on X how you found out about me, I'd very much appreciate it. All right, here we go.
Which would be chemek, strangulation, and not streifa. Fascinating. Okay, so let's go back to it. TB, 3 lines into the wide line. Ubas ish kohen kiseichal, and if a daughter of a kohen will commit adultery, yachalav filu chilula as a Shabbos. So what's that? So the lashon on the pasuk is very interesting. It's bas ish kohen kiseichal. If the daughter of a kohen will profane herself. So the Gemara says, okay, profane, maybe it means that she was mechalel Shabbos. Maybe the Torah is telling us that maybe a bas kohen gets a streifa, even for just desecrating Shabbos.
You got it, my friend.
Where the pasuk again. It occurs as a result she's saying, so once it says over here Avia, and it says in the second pasuk, just like in the first pasuk, it's talking about znus of zika sabal, which means immorality where there's a husband involved, right? Again, maybe not nisuin, but at least erusin. Afkan znus im zika sabal. So over here again, there's znus with zika sabal as well. O eino omer avia el otias kala adam. Maybe when it says avia, it means that when is a bas kohen subject to streifa? When she commits adultery, maybe with her father, right? Maybe it's only incestual adultery that's problematic. Kishu omer he Michaleles, Havi Omer, Kal Adam Amar. When it says he Michaleles, ultimately again that comes to include no adultery with anyone. Okay, Ha Mani Makaye Avia. So we'll say so. Ha Mani Makayim. So what? At the end of the day, what do I come out with? So the Gemara says. Sorry, it says over here, it says in the second pasuk, just like over here, it's znos, it's immorality with a connection to a husband. The Gemara says, okay, well, so here's the difference. So remember again, the Torah speaks about the idea, ultimately again, of a nara, a bas kohen who's a nara, humurasa, right? So we're trying to apply anything that's stated in the second pasuk to whatever is stated in the first pasuk, which talks about sreifa. So maybe if we're comparing psukim, just like the second pasuk is talking about a girl who's a nara, which of course is a particular stage in her physical development, and she's an arusa. So to by sreifa, she'll only get sreifa if she's a nara, and she's an arusa. To which the Gemara says, How do we know? How do we know Nesua Bogeres? I'm sorry. Afkan Nara Vihim Urasa. Nara Vihim Nesua. How do I know that if she's a Nara but she has Nisuan? Or Bogeres Viarusa. She's a Bogeres, right? She's an adult, full adult, and she's an Arusa. Or Bogeres Vihim Nesua. Or Bogeres is Afilu Hiskina. Even if she's a much older woman. 79. How do I know that if she's a Bas Kohen who commits adultery, she's subject to Sreifa? Talmud Lomar Ubas Kohen Mikol.
Post, did you find out how you found out about me on Twitter?
Tell us whoever is the best coin, whatever surah she is, a Nara, a Bogeres, a Nesua, an Arusa, it doesn't make a difference. This is the punishment handed down to a girl who is, or to a woman who is a Bas Kohen who commits adultery. So the Gemara says, Bas Kohen, Bas Kohen, top of Nonal 51a, will say, Ein li ela shenises lekohen. So here's what's interesting. The Gemara assumes over here that a Bas Kohen, the fact that it's referring to her as a Bas Kohen, maybe means that she also married a Kohen. Right? Maybe it's a Bas Kohen who married a Kohen. Amy Elishnisis LeKohen. Nises LeLevi, or Yisrael, LeObed Kochavin, Lechalo, Lemamzer, V'Nesimina. And how do I know that the truth is this unique halacha of a Bas Kohen who commits adultery and her being subject to streifa? How do we know that halacha l'maisa? No matter who she married, that she's subject to streifa. How do we know that? In other words, everyone's like, if you look at the list here, the list is very interesting because who's included in this list? It's obviously, again, a Kohen Levi Yisrael, but also Psulim. Even in a sin, even when I was saying, by the way, I'll tell you what I love most about Daf Yomi. Well, I love everything about Daf Yomi, but one of the things that I truly treasure about this is, as much as sometimes it is frustrating, not to necessarily, for myself I'm talking about, have retention over all the details of Daf. Along the journey, you pick up like yisodos that stick with you. So remember, again, one of the famous machloksim we had is, do we say kiddushin tovsin b'chayde ladin? Right? If you marry someone who you're not allowed to marry, does the kiddushin work? So there's the famous Machmir sheet of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva holds kiddushin inyan tovsin b'chayde ladin. So if you try to marry someone you're not allowed to marry, even if you're only prohibited to by a law, Rabbi Akiva says marriage does not work. We don't paskin that way. We hold kiddushin inyan tovsin b'chayde misa. Right? A man tries to marry his sister, not going to work. Try to marry another man's wife, it's not going to work. But if a woman marries a mamzer, right, or his sin,